Hello, BookTube. Welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth. It is Saturday, September 9th, and yes, I'm in Central Florida, and we are gearing up for a hurricane. So what am I doing filming a video? Well, I figured that in case the power goes out, who knows how long it'll be before I have power again or internet. I experienced an internet outage for the entire past week. We just got it back last night. And so I just wanted to hurry and do a couple more videos, because if I don't do a September TBR or a series September video, when else am I going to get it done? Who knows when I'll be able to do this again. And yes, I do still have some work to do to prepare for the hurricane. I've done all the shopping, my car's full of gas, all of that, but I've got to clear off still some more stuff off my screened-in back porch. And you guys know I've been talking about that for a while. It's been sitting there since Thanksgiving. So this is my motivation. I have to get it cleared up and cleared out of there and either gotten rid of or packed up better or something. So that's my project for today. But real quickly, I'm just going to do another one of these videos on my phone so that I'm not going to edit this. I don't even know how to edit yet on my phone. Once the hurricane is gone and things are back to normal, then I hope that I will be able to have time to sit down and figure out how to upload from my phone to the computer so that I can edit. But for now, I am just going to tell you what I plan to read for the rest of the month of September. Now, I've been reading a few random standalones, which I talked about yesterday in my Friday Reads. And this video, I want to talk about Series September. That is being hosted by Elizabeth from the Owlery, who also happens to be in Central Florida, and I'm assuming that she is gearing up for the hurricane as well. But I wanted to just talk about, real quick, what I plan to read. This Series September has come along at the perfect time because I have my Project 17 and 17. I have several different lists of 17 that I have been working on all year, and several of those lists involve series. So it's perfect that I can take the rest of this month to really focus on finishing the series books that I want to read this month. Then for October, I will work on the rest of the standalones that I want to read. Then for November, I can focus on nonfiction. And then December, I've got Christmas books. So that is my plan for the rest of the year. And I already actually filmed this once, but it was just kind of random, and it seemed like I couldn't get my I couldn't get a clear thought process of how I wanted to make sense of this video. So what I've done now is grouped my series books by age group. And I'm going to start with the adult books that I want to read, the series, and then I will go to the YA books and then the middle grade books. So that will, I think, make a little more sense and kind of organize this video a little bit better. That way, if you are not interested in adult books, you just want to see the YA books that I'm reading this month, then you can skip a little or go towards the end to see the middle grade books. I was going to count and see how many series books that, or how many series that this is involving. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I have 22 different series that I have books pulled from. Now, I'm not going to get that many books read. Oh, actually 23. I'm sorry. I've got an ebook that I don't have in front of me. But I am going to make an attempt to get as many of these read as I can. So let's start with the adult books. I have one book from the Hannah Swenson Baking Mystery series by Joanne Fluke that I want to read. I've got it on audio here from the library. This is Banana Cream Pie Murder. This will catch me up on this series. And unless she puts out another Christmas book this year, which I don't think she will because last year we had a Christmas book, then I will be caught up on this series until I think next February, when she will probably put out a new book. So I'll be caught up with this, and that'll be great. Then I have 5 series that I believe are done, and I only have one book left to read in each of those 5 series to completely finish that series. So one of them is a duology, and it's the Love Story duology. I read Love Story last year. It's by Eric Siegel or Segal. This is a really old series from the 70s. The movie Love Story was very popular. I remember my sister going to see the movie. In fact, I think they drugged me to the movie, even though I was pretty small and I didn't really understand what was going on. But I since then have read the first book, and I didn't really like it all that much, honestly. But I had the second book It was left over from a library sale, and I thought I may as well just go ahead and read it. Then I will pass this on to my sister, because I don't know if she's ever actually read the second part of this duology. So this is Oliver's story. Then the fifth book in the Fair Acres series by Effie Leland Wilder is a book that I didn't even realize existed for the longest time. I just found out about this book, I think, last year. This is called Oh My Goodness. Now, Effie Leland Wilder wrote 5 books, and she was age 80 or 85 when she started writing, and they're delightful. They are about her experiences in her assisted living community, and they're just so fun. I have had multiple copies of the first 4 books. I can't keep them because when I get them, I usually pass them on to someone else. I do have them here on my shelf, but I usually end up passing them on to somebody else because they're so adorable, and I just can't keep them to myself. So I don't think I've ever read this 5th book, and it's called Oh My Goodness. Then another series that I hope to finish is, actually, the other 2 series are YA books. So I'll tell you about them in a little bit. But there is one other series that's an adult book that I want to finish this year. And I hope to read at least 1 book from the series this month. And then also the last novella that I haven't read. This is by Debbie Maycomber, called Love Letters. This is book 3 in the Rose Harbor series. I read the first 2 books several years ago. And then this year I read the first 2 novellas that I bought those on my Kindle. And there's a 3rd one which I can read after this book, because this is book 3 and the next novella is book 3.5. So I'm excited about this. I really have enjoyed this series. This is a spin-off series of the Cedar Cove series, which I have read all of, and I'm looking forward to this. And then there's 2 more books after this, so I would like to finish this whole series this year. And then another adult book I'd like to read is Sonoma Rose by Jennifer Shiverini. This is an Elm Creek Quilts novel, and this is one of the historical fiction books. Excuse me, I'm dropping books behind me. This series kind of bounces back and forth. There's several that are historical, and there's several that are modern day, and there's even one that goes into the future. And I believe there's only 1 more after this. I don't plan to go ahead and finish and catch up with the series this year, but I do want to at least make progress in the series by reading this book. What stalled me out on the series is that my library never got this book on audio. I had listened to the majority of these on audio, and this one's kind of chunky, but it's not even, it really just looks bigger than it is, because it's not even 400 pages. It almost is, but not big enough for the Big Book Challenge, and so I just kept putting it off, and I want to get to it this month. Then another series that I want to make progress in is the Tyler series. These are written by multiple authors. This is an old Harlequin series that was put out in the 90s. There's 12 of them. They released them 1 a month. The series is called Welcome to Tyler. This 3rd book is called Wisconsin Wedding. I read the first 2 a couple of years ago, I think before I started doing booktube videos. And the thing that attracted me to these is the quilt theme. There is a quilt pattern on the front of each book, and so that was my draw. There is an underlying quilt theme in the books, but each of them is their own separate story, and then there's also an underlying mystery that is woven throughout all of the books. So I am reading them in order so that I can get the full extent of that mystery and everything like that. So these were a little steamy, but not over the top, at least the first 2 that I read. But since they are written by multiple authors, I'm not really sure what to expect from the rest of the series, but so far, not too bad. Then another series that I have read completely, but I have not read the companion books, is the Mitford series by Jan Karon, or the Mitford Years. There are 2 of these little companion books. This one is called Patches of Godlight, and it's kind of a diary of Father Tim's favorite quotes. And Father Tim is the main character in the Mitford Years series. So I have both of these companion books, and I would like to read them this year. So I want to get this one done this month. Then two other adult books that are for series I haven't started yet, but I have one of these on audio, so I do think I will get to it this month. This is the Cherry Cola Book Club by Ashton Lee. One of my subscribers, Catherine Stevens, told me about this series several months ago, and I checked it out from the library, looked at it, read the first chapter, and decided that I definitely did want to read it, and then I discovered that it's on audio on Hoopla. So I've got it borrowed, and I will be listening to this one this month, but probably not continuing with the series until next year. And then another series that I'm going to need to read in print, but I have 4 of these books. This is the Dearest Dorothy series by Charlene Ann Bombich. This first one is called Are We There Yet? And these books just look really delightful. I loaned them to a church friend, and she just zipped through them and said they were so cute and so fun. And it's very short, so I would like to read at least 1, maybe 2 of these books this year, and definitely get to this one this month. Okay, so that is all of the adult books or adult book series that I would like to get to this month. And if I don't get them all read, that's totally fine. But especially the ones that I can finish the series. Those are going to be my top goals. And then we'll just see how it goes with the rest of them. Okay, so now for, excuse me, for YA books, the one I already have started is The Trials of the Apollo Book 2, The Dark Prophecy. I'm listening to this in my car. I have it on CD from the library. And we are enjoying it. Katie has been listening to it with me. She has this print copy. This is hers. I think I bought this for her, maybe for her birthday, or I don't know, at some point earlier this year. And she's read the first one, and she was super excited to read the second one, but then she never has read it, and I don't know why. Well, actually, I kind of do. She has this thing about not wanting to finish a series that she really enjoys because she doesn't want it to be over. And then also, she doesn't like to read the next book of a series until she knows that the one after that is ready or is released. And I think, you know, that can be a common thing with other booktubers I've heard of, say that, you know, they don't want to read one and then have to wait and wait and wait for the next one. So I'm not like that. I'd like to just go ahead and get it read, and then when the next one comes along, then, you know, I'll read it when I can. So this one is one that we're already in the middle of, and definitely be finishing it. Another one I'm excited to finish is the Wrath of the Dawn duology. I've got The Rose and the Dagger. And I did fail to mention that earlier this month, last week in fact, there's only been a week in this month. I don't know why I keep saying that. I said I did something similar in my video yesterday. Last week, I did actually finish the third novella. I have them, all 3 of them on my Kindle. There's 3 novellas that go with this duology, and they're all 3 just super quick little short stories. So I have read all of those now, and now I just need to read The Rose and the Dagger to finish this series. And so I'm excited about that. And then another series that I read the first 2 a couple of years ago, and it's just taken me forever to get to Isla and the Happily Ever After, probably because I can't find it on audio anywhere, and I'm going to need to read the print book, so that has kind of stalled me out on this series, but I'm looking forward to it. It's by Stephanie Perkins. I really enjoyed Anna and the French Kiss. I read that one in print, but then I had Lola and the Boy Next Door on audio, and I was able to get through it a little quicker. I didn't enjoy it quite as much, and so maybe that's another reason why I didn't rush to pick this up. But I would like to go ahead and read this last book in the trilogy so that I can check this off my list. Then another series that I may not finish this year, although I had plans to, is the Selection series. I have read all the novellas. I've read the first 3 books. All I need to read are The Heir and The Crown, and I have been waiting for The Crown to come out in paperback, because we have been buying these in paperback, and we have all of them. So I think I'm going to go ahead, though, and get The Heir read, and if The Crown doesn't come out in paperback by this year, then I may postpone it and just wait till whenever I can get it to read it. But for sure, I'd like to go ahead and get this one read. This is on the list of 17 books my daughter wants me to read, and so I had promised her I would make every effort to get those books read. So this one, The Crown. The Heir. Then three more books that are on her list of books she wants me to read are by Sarah B. Larson. They are Defy and Ignite and Endure. And I don't know. Defy is definitely the first one, and I'm not sure what order the other two go in. This is a series that she read a year or two ago and really enjoyed and has been wanting me to read them. In fact, I went to the library to pick these up yesterday because she wanted me to get some books for her to read, and she was interested in rereading these. And as I was talking to the librarians, we were kind of laughing because the library was open yesterday. It's closed today and on through the storm. But it was kind of quiet in there. And I said, you know, I didn't think you were open today when I first walked up because there were hardly any cars here and it seems, you know, pretty quiet. I said, it's funny how us, you know, bibliophiles prepare for storms. You know, everybody else is out getting water and gasoline and all this stuff. And us bookish people are in the library getting books because, you know, storm preparedness for bookish people means, you know, having plenty of books to read if the power goes out. And so they were all agreeing that yes, that was true. So so now Katie may be reading these as well. I have them on audio through Hoopla, so for as long as my phone holds out, I can listen to these on audio, but we've got the print copies in case we want to get these read during the storm. So that is exciting to get those. Excuse me. Let me pick up something that fell. Another series that is on her list for me to read is actually not the whole series. Now, I've already read Life as We Know It, or Life as We Knew It by Susan Beth Pfeffer, and Katie has read all four in this series, and she definitely wants me to read the second book, which is The Dead and the Gone. She said, and possibly the third one, if I can get to it, but especially the second one. She said that I don't need to worry about the fourth one because it's not any good, and other people have said similar. I'll probably eventually try to go ahead and just read the whole series, but for this year, this book is on the list of books that she wants me to read. It's called The Dead and the Gone. Now, this series is called the Last Survivors series, I believe, and the premise is that I believe a meteor has hit the moon and shifted it into an orbit closer to the Earth. So the moon is very close to the Earth, and of course that wreaks havoc with the pull on the Earth and causes earthquakes and volcanoes and, you know, things like that. So it's kind of a dystopian, post-apocalyptic sort of a series. And so that is another YA series that I will be reading. Then I have two series that I had put on my original list of series that I wanted to make progress in this year, but I'm honestly starting to think I'm not going to get to them, but I went ahead and pulled them out because they are on my list. I'd like to read another book in the Ugly series. The next one I need to read is Pretties, which is book 2. These are by Scott Westerfeld. There's 4 books in the series, and I've only read the first one. And then I'd like to read another book in the Kingdom Keepers series. I need to read the second book, Disney in Shadow. It's been several years since I read the first 2. I don't think I need to read the first 2 again to go on to the second or the third one. I pretty much remember the basics of what happened in the first 2, and this is a really fun series so far, and I will be excited to get to it, but I don't know if I'll get to it this month or this year. I think I can get it on audio from the library, which is good because this third book is a chunker, so we'll just wait and see. Then one other series excuse me, one other series I'd really like to start, and especially because I need to get this book read, is The Lost Night, Volume 1 by Candy Atkins. Candy is from Florida, and she sent this book to me last year and asked if I would like to read it and review it. I told her I would, and I have not gotten it done yet. So I really do need to get this book read this month, this year, as soon as possible. And I believe this is a fantasy book. Maybe it's a dystopian slash fantasy. I'm not really sure, but it looks great, and I do want to get it read. Okay, so moving on to the middle grade books. I've just got a few of those, and One of them will finish a series for me, a duology. I need to read Cured by Bethany Wiggins. The first book is Stung. This Stung was one of our Sunshine State books a year or two ago, and Katie really enjoyed this whole duology, and she keeps asking me, when are you going to read Cured? You haven't read Cured yet? So this is on the list of books that Katie wants me to read, and it will check off a series for me as well. Then another Sunshine State book for this year that I want to get read very soon, and this is the beginning of a series. It's called The Shadows of Sherwood by Kekla Magoon. It is a Robin Hoodlum adventure, and I believe it is a Robin Hood retelling or a Robin Hood type of adventure, and I am excited to get to it. Then another book that's on the list of books Katie wants me to read is the very first book in the Warriors series. This is Into the Wild by Erin Hunter. It's a super short book, and I have started it 2 or 3 times and have just put it down for one reason or another. And it's about cats. I love cats. I don't know why I'm having a hard time getting into this book, but I promised her I would read it this year if it killed me, and so I need to get this book read. Then a couple of others that I don't know if I will get to this year. I'm really excited to finish the Penderwick series, and I originally had this book on my list of series to finish, but then I realized that it looks like there are going to be more Penderwick's books. So I moved this to my list of series to make progress in this year, and I've already read a Penderwick's book. So I'm not even sure why I checked this out from the library. I think I saw it on the shelf and just went ahead and picked it up, but more than likely I will bump this to next year, and possibly this one too. I've been saying all year I was going to read this. This is one of the series that I wanted to start. This is The Wishing Spell, Book 1 in the Land of Stories by Chris Colfer. Christy from What Christy's Reading has read this whole series and really enjoyed it, and I've heard a couple of other people talking about it. I do want to read it, definitely. Now it's getting, close to the end of the year, and to think about starting a whole bunch of more series when I still have so many to finish is kind of, I don't know, I can't get excited about starting a bunch more new series. So for that reason, I may go ahead and put this off until next year, and then maybe just try to read the whole series in 2018. So that is all of the middle grade books, and actually almost all of the series books that I want to try to read by the end of this year. I didn't mention a lot of cozy mysteries. I do have several cozy mysteries that were on a different list of mysteries that I wanted to get read. I did read a lot of cozy mysteries back in March for March Mystery Madness, and I have several others that I'd like to read. I do have a Christmas one I'm planning to read in December. I just don't know when I'm going to get them read. And there is one, though, that I'm going to read on my Kindle, and that is called Casket Cash. It is by Janice J. Richardson. She sent me Amazon credits to get all 3 of the first books. Actually, she said, get the first one and then get whatever you want with the rest. But I went ahead and bought all 3 of the first 3 books in the oh goodness, what is it called? The Spencer Funeral Home Niagara Cozy Mystery Series. And I'm going to at least get the first one read. Now, Janice is a funeral director. She also has a book that is a memoir of her experiences in directing a funeral home. But she has this really cool cozy mystery series that is set in a funeral home as well. So I am looking forward to at least getting the first one read, and I think that will be, I believe it's an ebook, not an audiobook, on my Kindle. So that's it for series September. I know I have more here than what I can get read. I believe 10 of these I can get on audio, and then the rest of them are print. So more than likely I will get all the audios done and still have quite a few print books to read, but we'll just see how it goes. I want to focus on the ones that that will finish series so that I can get those checked off my list. And the lowest priority are ones that will start a series, because like I said, I just can't wrap my head around starting a whole bunch more series this year, since it's already getting closer to the end of the year. So that's all I have for this video. I am going to go get ready for the storm. I may do one other video today. If I do, you'll see it on my channel, and then you may not see me for a little while because we're probably going to have some power outages, internet outages, and the like. So we will stay as safe as we can. I appreciate all your well wishes. Those of you who have commented on my videos from yesterday, just pray for us, and let's just pray that the storm will dissipate quickly and there will be a minimal amount of damage, and that everybody will be safe. So that's all I have for this video. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.